Right. But once again, nobody in the chat. Right, I'll give it a few seconds, see if anyone pops in. Right, so the problem I had with the last one was that I didn't go into the settings and change it from unlisted to public, so it was unlisted, which means that, you know, nobody knew I was going live. I've now got a thumbs up in this one, but I don't. Oh, I've got 2 people in. Okay, hello. Just to let you know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. Just to let you know what I'm doing. I've decided to test out how to take my iPhone out into the field and just hit the live button and just to see what happens. Hello, who's that? Astra and Remy. Oh, hello, how are you doing? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? Is the audio coming through live and clear and loud and lovely? I hope it is. Right, six people in. I'll tell you what I'm doing in just a second. Right, that's if someone can confirm to me that the audio is working. I'm assuming it is. Audio is great, that's great. Thanks Astro and Remy, thank you. Right, I tell you what I'm doing here. I've decided that, you know how I some of you may know, I would I'll have to remember to try and look at the camera. I would live stream on a Sunday night from my studio, and I've got a big Mac studio and 5 monitors and professional mic, well, an amateur professional mic, and I would do that on a weekly basis. But I wondered, can I just take my iPhone out into the field and hit go live while I'm out and about? So I thought, let's jump the car, test it out. So here I am out in the field, kind of in the middle of nowhere. I think I can rotate the camera and wait to see if I hit this button. Yeah, it does. The cam. Hopefully you can see now where I am. So I'm out kind of in the middle of nowhere. Right, there's a car. So as you can see, nobody about except me. Right, let me turn that back round. Right, so the reason I wanted to come to somewhere quite remote was, first of all, I'm embarrassed to look like an idiot wandering about talking into a camera in the town centre or something like that. That was, oh, I missed that one. The chat comes up, it's very tiny, and then it fades away after a few seconds. If I wanted to see that, I'd probably need to have my glasses on and have my eyes trained on the screen all the time, but I don't want to. I want to talk into the camera if I can, but I'll keep my glasses on now, my reading glasses. Right, where was I? Aye, so a bit embarrassed to wander about with a camera talking into it in the middle of a town centre or something. I might eventually get to that, but at the moment, no. So that's why I've come to a remote place, and also I wanted to test and see, can I get a good signal, good enough to live stream in the out in the middle of nowhere from my iPhone, and if I can, that's good, I'll do that. Because I thought what I could do is, when I'm out and about making a video, on the way back to the car and the walk back to the car, I could just hit live and go live and have a chat with anyone who's interested in having a chat with me on the way back from, you know, being out filming in the Ulu. So that's the idea for today. It was just to test and see if it worked, and it looks like it does. I'm going to spin the camera around and let you see kind of where I am. So I'm just walking over towards this Covenanters memorial here. I've done a few videos here. This is where I did the video that was about how to do a dolly zoom effect using waypoints. Do you think auditors will ruin flying for all of us? Oh, there's a good question. I don't know. I think if you want my opinion, and who am I, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think auditors have a limited lifespan, because it's like most trends. People are very, very interested, highly interested for a while. Like take this new trend, the Ibiza final boss. You know, at the moment he's away up here and he's getting lots of attention, and good on him. But it won't last, you know. That you'll have to be very clever, because that type of fame will. And I think auditors are kind of the same. Okay, it's maybe going to last a bit longer than your Hawk Tour girl or your Ibiza final boss guy. But I think I've been looking at the numbers of views that channels like DJ Audits and PJ Audits and DJI Media have been getting. And the views that each video is getting is a lot less than it was, I'd say, even a year ago. The views are coming down and down and down. I think people are kind of getting sick of the same old shtick. It's like, aye, here's another industrial site. You're going to argue with the security guard. You're going to tell him that you're allowed to fly. It's publicly accessible place. You're going to ask him where his badge is. You're going to tell him it's got to be on show at all times, according to the law. You know what I mean? Same old shtick. I think people are getting sick of it, and eventually it'll be like, I've had enough of this. I'm careful where I'm positioning the camera at the moment, because I've got the sun here, and if I put it over here, I'll be in silhouette. So I'm just trying to be a bit careful of where I position this. Right, so that's what I think about auditors. I think that they've had their couple of years in the sun. They've maybe got some more time in the sun, but their views are all declining. And if you've noticed them, a lot of them are changing what they do. Like DJI Media, for example, Curtis Arnold has decided he's going to become the Temu version of Charlie Veitch. So he's walking about Manchester winding up people who are vulnerable, people who really need a bit of help, rather than him getting in the face with a camera. Greetings from south Bavaria. Nice to see you. Okay, yeah, and to you. Like I say, this live stream is just a wee test to see if it works, and it seems to be working. I've had feedback saying that the audio is good and the video is good, and therefore this, I think what I'll probably do is watch out for this. I go out filming a couple of times a week if the weather's okay, one time a week if the weather's not so good. And what I'll do is I'll spend maybe an hour creating the video. I'm bloody sick to death of Auditors, strange breed. I'll come back to that in a second. What was I saying there? I go out a couple of times a week to film, one time a week is a minimum, depending always on the weather. And if it's nice, I can get out to maybe 3 times to do a bit of filming. And I usually just, at the end of the filming shoot, I pack everything into my backpack and I just walk back to the car. Sometimes I'm walking for 10, 15, 20 minutes. So I had this thought, which was, what if I, instead of just walking back to the car, I go live on my iPhone? And I've never tried it before, so this is what I'm doing now. I'm testing it to see. Now this isn't just an iPhone, I've got it on a gimbal, and I have my DJI mic plugged into it, so hopefully that will make the audio really good. There's some sheep there looking at me. I'll just flip the view and let you have a look at them. So there's some sheep, thinking, what's this old codger doing wandering about here? Is he coming to feed us or what? Looks like they've just been shorn the sheep. Right, and I'm just walking down here really as a way of just extending this live just a little bit, just for a few more minutes. As I say, this was just a test. I haven't been out doing any filming today. I'm going out tomorrow actually. I'm going out to film probably about noon, about 12 o'clock GMT, and I'm filming at this location that's got quite a good story to it, quite a supernatural story. So what I'll probably do is, after I've finished the filming at the location, there will be about a 10-15 minute walk back to the car after I've hit the final location, and I'll throw on the live stream and see how it goes. So if you're sitting about and you've got a spare 10 minutes, I suppose, tomorrow at probably around about 12:30ish, then I'll try this live again. And I've seen that the comments work. I've got 2 thumbs ups. I've got 12 people in. I can see a couple of little things there. I have £0 in the super chat. Now, here's an ask. If anyone would mind hitting the super chat just for the minimum amount, I don't know what the minimum amount is, whether it be 50p or £1 or whatever it is, would someone mind just hitting that super chat for the minimum amount, just to see that it's working? That sounds like a scam. Just do this. It's just to check something. It's really for me to get money. No, honestly, I just want to see if it's working. That's all. If someone super chats £1 and they want the £1 back, let me know, and there you go. That Bavarian Sky Pixels, you gave me a €1.19 with an ice cream cone. It's come up in the star thingy there. It says £1.03. Right, excellent. It worked. Thanks very much. If you want that €1.19 back, email me at windsweptrobert@gmail.com and I'll transfer it back into your account. Thanks very much for doing that wee test. I just had to check that everything was working, and that was the only thing that I hadn't checked so far. Right, so that was that. A load of nonsense as usual. Do you have any problems with bird strikes? Euro, yes. Yeah, it was Euro. I wouldn't mind if we were using the Euro either, to be honest with you. Bird strikes, no. I have been chased one time by a bird, and it was Lassie, my DJI Mini 2. I was flying at Turnberry, and it was near the lighthouse, and it was some type of seabird. It wasn't a seagull. It was a small, fast bird with a long beak, and it was chasing Lassie. And I think I was maybe close to a nesting area or something like that. I don't know. I had checked beforehand, and there were no restrictions. There were no nesting areas, but there was this one seabird was chasing for a while. It lost interest after a few minutes, but that's the only time I've ever had any bother with birds. A few times seagulls and that, crows have looked a little bit interested, but not enough to do anything. Hello there, oyster catchers always come after me. It was an oyster catcher. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, an oyster catcher. Maybe they have a proclivity for chasing drones. Get a wee midgie up there. For chasing drones. And it just so happened that that location I visited is the only location that had oyster catchers there. So maybe there's something to avoid. Here's a question for you. I can see just here a kind of a shaded part of the screen. Now I know that it's the light that I have on my gimbal, and I can't really reposition the phone. Well, maybe I can, but it may put it all out of balance. Can anyone else see that kind of shaded part just here, which is really the light? It's the light from the gimbal. I could maybe work on pulling the phone forward a bit somehow, although I don't know if that will work. Yeah, that's dragging. Yeah, everyone can see it. Is it annoying? Is that a deal breaker? If that's on his live stream, I'm not watching again. It's rubbish. Or is it okay? Is that something that you can live with? If it's something that you can live with, I won't worry about it too much. If it's a deal breaker, then I will work it it's somehow moving the phone forward and putting a counterweight on the gimbal to rebalance it. It doesn't bother me, says pictures of Suffolk, thank you, good. I don't really think it's much of an annoyance. Okay, Word Right says no, it's fine. A Dragon's photography says it's slightly distracting. Okay, I will have a look and see if I can alter the position of. I mean that light's actually attached to the gimbal. There's no way of removing the light. But I will have a look and see if there's any way. I don't think there is, to be honest with you. Is that Jack Shuey? Good morning. Good morning. Right. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. As I say, this was just a test. I just wanted to check and see if I could come out and just hit live on my iPhone without any setup, without any preparation, and see if I could go live. It seems that it's been successful. I've got 4 thumbs ups, 14 people in the chat. A few people have been chatting and I've seen it popping up on the screen. And I've had a super chat confirmed that it works. So okay, quick last look at the sheep. If I just flick the screen like that, what can you see there? Can you see what I'm looking at, which is basically the scenery and the sheep and the hills? Jinky Jink says, you're right about audits, they get boring after a while. I'm new to drones and would prefer watching and learning. I see it faded there. It faded. Well, Jinky Jinks, I agree with you. Would people rather be watching a warehouse roof and a warehouse car park with maybe some forklifts darting about, or would they rather be out with me visiting some old abandoned ruined castle that could possibly be haunted and seeing the scenery just like the scenery like that, scenery like this? I mean, maybe people would prefer to look at arguments and see security guards arguing with people, faceless people, but not for me, not for me. I want to watch PJ and DJ in case they're a good hiding. Do you know something, World Rights? I believe that is a good percentage of people watch just to see if they do get a doing. It's like, I mean, Jack Doherty, if anyone has heard of him, and who's the other guy, Johnny Somali, they're very, very popular nuisance streamers. And I don't think they're popular because people like them. I think they're popular because people want to see them getting their comeuppance. And so I think that there's a large number of the audience who watch audit videos are there to see the auditor get what's coming to them. Right, I think there's a way I can, if I'll do that to look at the chat, can I see the previous chat? No, top chat, no I can't see it. Right, so as far as I can tell, the chat on here just pops up on the screen and then fades away after a few seconds, which doesn't give me an awful lot of time to read it. But anyway, right, so I'm going to head back. I heard Johnny Somali get a sentence for 30 years. He hasn't been sentenced yet. He's pled guilty to, I think, it's 7 out of 9 charges. He's pled not guilty to 2 of them. Oh, he actually changed his not guilty plea to 1 of them. He pled not guilty to 2 of them. And he did that because he thought that the witnesses weren't going to turn up in court. He was in court the other day. And one of the witnesses, Bong Bong, did turn up, or at least Bong Bong's representative did turn up. So he immediately changed one of his not guilty pleas to guilty. But I think he's still pleading not guilty to the 1 charge, which is making a deep fake where he has an intimate kiss with Bong Bong, who's a highly regarded streamer in South Korea, and it was a deep fake, it was AI. He's pled not guilty to doing that. It's a whole big story. he's claiming that it was someone in his Discord channel that had created it and posted it to his Discord channel, but he was actually streaming live at the time, and he streamed that video from his stream. So whether he actually created it or not doesn't matter in the eyes of the South Korean judicial system. He published it live, and so therefore he's the guilty party. So, but he's pled not guilty to that one, but he's pled guilty to the other 8 charges now. He's looking at a maximum of, I think it's 30 years. That's only if every charge is sentenced at the aggravated level. If he's sentenced for all of the charges, all 9 charges, however many it is, 9 charges. If he's found guilty for the other one and he's sentenced for the 9 of them, the minimum is, I think, 3 years, and that's if he's let off light. If the standard sentencing is applied, then he's looking at 12 years. So he's definitely going to get some time behind bars, and so is probably his Hank Yu, his boyfriend. So there's Johnny Somali getting his comeuppance at long last, and Jack Doherty, same's going to happen to him. He's going to get what's coming to him. He already has been in a lot of ways, and I think, although certainly none of the UK auditors are at that level of nuisance vlogging and nuisance streaming, there are some of them who are pretty close. And I think it's now at the point where, great idea this on the way back home, fella. Yeah, and thanks very much for the super thanks there. It's popped up, so I've got a running wee total, and I've got £3 now. £3 I've made today. Yeah, that'll actually cover the fuel. that will cover the fuel to get here, so thanks very much for that. Those of you, the 2 of you who gave me a wee super chat there. I was just saying about the auditors. Can't remember what I was saying. I think the opinion of the police is that if they're called to an incident by the auditor who has perhaps been assaulted, then they're not going to take any action. I've got a video up there. It was one about PJ Audits when he went and he appeared at the Scrappies, and he was attacked. He wasn't really attacked. No one hit him. He claimed that someone hit his broken arm, but no one actually did. He was just given a scare and blocked in, and he called the police. And if you see my thumbnail, it's 2 police there standing with their arms folded, leaning back, showing a complete lack of interest in PJ Audits' complaint. So I think that's the way that it's going to go more and more, that people are going to get wise to this and realise that the police don't do anything if the auditor calls them out, if we give them a wee slap about. So let's just give them a wee slap about. You may have seen, I miss the days when streaming wasn't disturbing people in public and being a nuisance, and just people outdoors enjoying life. Well, there you go. That's exactly what I'm doing. I mean, here's a live stream, right? Now, this might be very boring, you know what I mean? But is it, I mean, would you rather be watching someone not showing their face, having an argument with a security guard who's on minimum wage, just trying to put, you know, food on his table for his family, and getting hassled to death by some idiot behind a camera who won't show his face, who wears masks and glasses and, you know, is scared to show their face? You know, that, I think this is what live streaming should be about. It's about time you started live streaming. Yeah, well, I live streamed for over a year and a half, every Sunday night at 7 o'clock from my studio, and occasionally I would come out and live stream from my drone. See, I'm an innovator. I live streamed from my drone, flicked the camera so that during the live you could actually see what the drone was seeing. You got to see the drone's view. Remember the one that I did where everyone in the chat was screaming at me that, look out for the idiots with the golf clubs, they're firing golf balls at your drone. It was at a ruined castle, and I was flying the drone, my drone Caledonia, my Mini 3 Pro. I was flying her at Greening Castle. And of course I was keeping my eye on the drone because, you know, visual line of sight and all that. So I wasn't looking at the chat and I wasn't really looking at the screen to see where she was flying. I was looking at her, and apparently there was a mad young guy who was firing golf balls right at the drone. I didn't get to see that message there, it disappeared too soon. I will review it later on though, and I'll maybe make a video to reply to the comments that have been made in this stream. So, yeah, so I have been live streaming. I did live stream for a long time, and I don't think anyone else was live streaming in the way I did, you know, actually sitting there. You could see my face and I could change the scene and it would flick to the drone camera. I also had a 360 camera that I could flick to that, and you could have a look all around about. I was doing that live streaming. I did it for over a year and a half. But then COVID hit me. I ended up with long COVID. I became so ill that I retired from work. I had to retire from work due to ill health, and I've never really recovered. And according to doctors, I never will fully recover. I just have to maintain as much of my health as I possibly can. I go to hydrotherapy every week, every Wednesday actually. It's closed for a couple of weeks because of the staff shortage at the moment, but I go to hydrotherapy every Wednesday morning. I'm on massive amounts of medication, so I couldn't live stream. I kind of gave it up because it was too much for me. It was too complicated. I forgot how to do things. I forgot how to hit buttons and how to get screens up and how to monitor the chat and different things. My brain just wasn't functioning. But I'm now in a better state, and I don't think I'm going to go back to the live streaming from the studio the way I did before. But this idea that I've got, it's so simple. Just hit the go live button on the phone while I'm out and about. Particularly if I'm out and about filming. Yeah, there is. It's the light. There's a light on this gimbal that's blocking the phone. I know that. I've asked everyone if it's annoying. It's annoying to some people. It's not annoying to others. I will. This is just a test. It's the first time I've ever tried this. I will see if I can adjust the gimbal so that it doesn't block there. I just saw a question come up there if I can fly at the Kelpies. Yeah, I could fly at the Kelpies. There's a reason why you don't see on my channel any videos. There's a wee hornet zipping about. You don't see videos of the Kelpies or the Wallace Monument up in Stirling or Edinburgh Castle or Stirling Castle or any of the really famous Scottish landmarks that have been videoed 1,000 times by 1,000 creators. I try to find locations that are, I try to find locations that are a bit different. You know, that maybe people who have only heard of the famous things in Scotland, like Loch Ness, the Wallace Monument, and Edinburgh Castle. You know, if you want to see videos of that, there's a million of them online you can go and have a look at. So I try not to go to places that are as overly filmed as those places. However, if someone particularly wants me to go to a location, then they can email me and say, look, Rob, I really want to see the Kelpies. Here's some fuel that will take you there, get you back, and here's an extra couple of quid for a sandwich while you're there. If someone wanted to do that, then I will do that. I'll go to that location. But if someone just says to me, oh, I'd like to see John O'Groats, can you go up there? If I said, yeah, okay, it would cost me in the region to get to John O'Groats, and back, it would cost me in the region of 150 to 200 quid fuel money, and then I'd need an overnight stay, that'd be another 100 quid minimum, and then I need some food, that'd be another 50 quid. So you're looking at, what, 300, 400 quid just to go up to John O'Groats to do a bit of filming. So someone asks me, can you go up there and do this? It's like, well, yeah, will you pay for it? Will you cover my expenses and I'll do it? Otherwise, you just have to, watch the videos of where I go, and I tend to go to places that are within my budget. And on the occasion that I do get some buy me a coffee or some super thankses, like I've had a couple today, or people throw. I think that's the only two ways that I can get donations. Or if the members ask me to go somewhere, then I'll do that. So if I get enough donations like that just to cover the fuel, and if there's an overnight stay involved, then I'll go and do it. But I'm retired on work on a very, very basic pension, low pension, so I can't afford to just zip off to every request. I just can't do it. I wish I could, but I can't. However, having said that, if you want me to go to the Kelpies, email me and we can arrange something. God, that sounded horrible, I know. It sounded like I'll make videos if you pay me. I get a bit of ad revenue, yeah, I do, but it's not enough to cover the costs. It really isn't. The ad revenue, and I used to make like double what I make now, and now I don't. I make hardly anything at all. And even when I was making double what I'm making now, it was hardly anything. But the ad revenue has come way down on YouTube over the past year, 2 years. Everyone is experiencing it, and a lot of bigger creators have shifted to different platforms like Kick or Rumble. I've actually got two channels on a platform called DEOVR. If you want to go there, you'll get to see my virtual immersion videos, my 360 degree videos, and my 4K flight videos without ads. There's no ads on them, and the quality is slightly better than the videos on YouTube because their compression algorithm is a bit better. They don't compress the video so much. So you can, and it's Windswept Rob and Windswept Rob VR and Windswept Rob 2D, I think, are the two channels over on DEOVR. So if you want to go there and watch my videos, I duplicate all the videos that I do on YouTube on that platform, and they're all ad free. So, and I get a little bit of income there. It's not much, it's not even as much as I get on YouTube, but I get a little bit. But the income that I generate from DEOVR and YouTube, it's not much. It's certainly not enough to say, right, I can just zip off to Loch Ness for the day and do some filming. It cost me a fortune to do that. Anyway, I don't want to go on about it again. I've gone on about it far too long as it is. Right, I'm going to wrap this up because I've been live now for 33 minutes, and that's in addition to the one that I did just before this one, where I was live for 10 minutes, but I hadn't hit the public button, so it wasn't public, it was unlisted, and I had no one in the chat. I'll maybe stick that up as a video just to let you see what it was, and I hadn't made it public. I realised my error, and as soon as I finished that one, just 10 minutes before this one, I changed that from unlisted to public and hit live again, and that's when you all came in. Okay, right, so I've got 11 people in the chat, 9 thumbs ups, that's good, £3 and 2 pence in super thankses. Super thankses. So let me say a super thanks to you for doing that, for giving me that wee thing. That will cover the fuel actually from my studio to here and back. That'll cover it. That'll just cover it. So thanks very much for that. It made this coming out here and testing it worthwhile. Well, put it this way, it means that I haven't had a financial loss coming out here to test this. The tests seem to work fine. Another last wee look at the hill over there, which is quite nice, I think. I don't know if you can see the, can I zoom in? Oh, I can. Are you, see if I did, when I did that, did it zoom, did your screen zoom in too? Are you seeing the zoomed in? Oh, that's really good. If I can actually zoom in like that, I didn't know I could do that. I don't know if you're seeing the zoomed in version or not. Like, there's that Covenanters. You're seeing the zoomed in? Wow, that's fantastic. So if I zoom in, that's the furthest I can zoom in. Now I can zoom in a wee bit further. That's it. That's really good. Wow. So there you go. I didn't know I could do that either. So that's quite good. And it's only 1080p. That's all it is, because there's no point in streaming at 4K because YouTube just compresses the live streams down to 1080. So I'm filming it at 1080. Hello, I haven't got my specs on, so I can't see that your name there, but I'm doing okay. What was I saying there? I'm streaming at 1080p at 30 frames per second. So it's not even, I mean, my videos are usually 4K at 60 frames per second, so they look really good. But I think this is looking okay. And phone network is EE, but I'm using, wait, I'll show you. Let me put it down here. I'm going to show you the back of the car. It's a bit of a mess, but I'll show you my setup. Right, okay, look, right, wait, I'll flick over and show you my setup, right? Flick over, right. Oh, it's still zoomed in, I better zoom out. Right, how do I zoom? God, I can't zoom back out. I'm stuck. Oh, there, is that it? There you go. Right, so here's my network setup. I've got in this is my backpack, it's very light, and in this pouch here, I've got this. Right, this is a Netgear Nighthawk M1. Okay, hope you can't see my password there. Well, it doesn't matter, you're not going to hack in anyway. Right, so I've got that. Oh, the aerials just came out. Wait, let me plug that. I'll just have to set that down a second to plug this in. Right, so you can use it just on its own. Oh, hello. Oh dear. We're all over the place now. Right, you can use it on its own. I'm having trouble seeing anything. It seems to be zooming. You can use it on its own, but I actually have it connected to this maritime. It's a yacht mast aerial, right? So that I've got that connected to that, and it's just going up through my backpack there. Right, so that's my internet setup. Right, let me just put it back in the pouches, and I just put it in the two pouches, one either side of my backpack. Bear with, put it away again. Right, so that's it there. Oh, this, I shouldn't have laid that gimbal down. It's throwing itself all over the place now. Oh dear. Right, should be getting it back to normal now. Sorry about all the faffing about there. Right, let me switch it over to the other screen. Right, so that's it there, basically. The Nighthawk's in that pocket there. You don't need the mast. I just find that you get a much stronger signal with the mast, obviously. But you don't need it. And then I just put the backpack on. So if I've got the backpack on, let me just fix this. Sorry, the gimbal and the camera's rotating all over the place there. I was just having to go hands off on the gimbal. Right, so I put the backpack on. Oop. My back. Right. Oh, in fact, let's put it over the other side. can probably see that. And then I can go trogging about. Now that Nighthawk, that Netgear Nighthawk, I've actually done a video about it, a video review of it a couple of years ago when I got it, to show you how to set it up, to show you how it works. And I did a bandwidth comparison showing the upload speed and the download speed with the Nighthawk and with just the phone. The way it works is you just use a SIM card from a phone, you put it into that Nighthawk, and that, you know, that's your internet. I have unlimited broadband, unlimited text, unlimited messages, unlimited calls from EE on my phone. But I took the SIM card from my phone and put it into the Nighthawk, and that's what I use. So it's unlimited broadband. And then I bought myself a £5 a month SIM card from, I forget who it is, and I stuck it in my phone just in case I needed to make any wee calls or anything like that. You know, I use wireless calls for everything. So basically my phone SIM card is in that Nighthawk, and that way I can go wandering out and about into the middle of nowhere and still get a fantastic signal, which is perfect for this setup, because there are some places you can go in the wilderness that don't have a signal. Well, you can't get a signal on your phone, but if you've got one of those, a Nighthawk, particularly if you've got the mast with it, you know, I just bought that yacht mast aerial thingy second hand off eBay. It cost me about 50 quid or something like that. I bought the adapter connector, plugged it into the Nighthawk, and away we go. Before I had that, my Nighthawk, I was getting a very good speed with it. When I bought the mast and plugged it in, I'm getting an outstanding speed on it. And for streaming, it's your upload speed that's more important than your download speed. And so I get in the region of between 20 and 30 Mbps upload. Right, I'll get about 100 download, but downloads don't matter when you're streaming, it's only uploads. So I get between 20 and 30, which is faster than you can get with a broadband installed into your house in some cases. So that's what I use as my streaming setup. I hope that was interesting to some of you. Obviously not, because I was at 13 people in the chat and I'm now down to 11. So obviously not that interesting for a lot of you. We're up to 42 minutes. In the past, I have streamed for an hour when I used to do it on Sunday nights. So I just came on supposedly for a two minute wander. I've been on for 42 minutes. If anyone would like a more detailed, I think that's fascinating that I can zoom in there. I had no idea that I was going to be able to do that. Zoom in. That's quite extraordinary. I'm glad I tried that, because that doesn't look too much, but if you zoom in and suddenly you see, oh look, I didn't realise that forest was like that. Yeah. Oh, I've just realised I can stream down and see the old right. Quality goes down in zoom. Yeah, of course it does, because it's a digital zoom, not a tele zoom. Zoom is great. This is good. I didn't realise I could do that now. I can actually scroll through the chat and see it looks like a really good connection. Yeah, I've just explained why I've got that. Ribster13 Photography Media said we are in a silly face. I don't know what that we are meant. Oh, we are interested, okay. Love the live stream tech side of things. I live stream from airports. Access Productions, and what do you use your phone in a similar method to this? It's actually so simple. I had no idea that it was going to be as simple as this. You know, you just hit live. You just hit live on your phone and that's it. Now, the reason I've got a gimbal is I'll do a bit of fast walking. Right? I'm walking quite fast now, and the reason that I'm using the gimbal is because I'm hoping that that's going to take away any bounce. can you confirm that it doesn't look too bouncy? And I mean, you'll see a bit of bounce, but if I were to use that, in fact, what I'll do is, you lost the sound. Lost the sound. No, it's, maybe I've hit mute. No, I didn't hit mute. Is the sound back? I didn't realise I'd lost it. Doesn't look muted to me. Yeah, I can see it sounds okay. Right, okay, what I'll do is, that was just a walk 100 yards away for the car, so I'll walk a bit further. Right, so this is with the gimbal. What I'll do is, I'll walk back to the car, but I'll take the phone off of the gimbal. Sound on? Aye. Sound on, does that mean you can hear me? I think you can. I don't know. Can you hear me? Just say yes if you can hear me, and no if you can't. Well, you wouldn't be able to say no if you can't hear me. Yes, okay. Right, so what I'll do is, I just walked from the car with the gimbal. Right, with the phone and the gimbal. Right, there it is. So that's what it looks like. Right, what I'll do is I'll take the phone off of the gimbal. Let me shut the gimbal down. Right, I'll take the phone off it. This is the times you wish you're an octopus with more than two hands. Oh God. Hope I didn't accidentally shut down the live stream there. Right, so here it's without the gimbal, right? So I'm holding the phone in my hand now, and if I walk along here, now it looks to me very, very shaky. Very shaky. And if I switch over to there, right, so that's me walking without the gimbal, and I think, you know, aye, exactly. So I think the gimbal is a must if I'm going to be walking out and about. I don't know if these auditors that go live, if they use gimbals or not. They probably do. Aye, there's sheep everywhere. Well, you can't see them unless I switch the thingy over. Aye, there's sheep, a field full of sheep. And also there's a bull kicking about somewhere as well. Axis, no, I've got a Pocket 2. I don't have a Pocket 3. And I've got no intention of getting one, because I hardly use the Pocket 2. I use my iPhone for almost everything now. And now that I've got the gimbal, as you can see, it makes a hell of a difference. I mean, I'm trying my best to hold this as still as I can, and I'm doing the ninja walking, you know, trying to keep myself level and steady, but you can still see it bouncing around. I'm pretty sure you can. And I think that's with the iPhone stabilisation on. I should switch it off really with the gimbal, get more of a screen view. So if I switch it, I'm covering the screen, so if I switch it over there, I'm holding it with two hands now, as steady as I possibly can. Right, but I can't be walking about holding a phone with two hands. There's one hand again. Right, so as you can see, the gimbal's a must, really, isn't it? Right, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Now that I know this all works, I will be live streaming probably after every single video that I'm out filming on the walk. I always park up somewhere and then walk quite a distance. Well, I say quite a distance, maybe 10-15 minutes. Walk to the location that I'll be doing the filming at. So we'll wait and I'll tell you what time it is. It's 6:30 PM here in the UK, in Scotland. And yeah, it is a... There you go. There's my Apple phone telling me, Apple Watch telling me what time it is. If I say what time is it, and now she doesn't answer. So a nice blue sky, some wee puffy clouds. It's an app, and you'll see, now watch your eyes now, I'm going to turn into the sun here. Right, there's a great big, oh, I blinded myself, I looked at it. Right, big bright sun there. So it's you know, nice clouds here, and it's a beautiful evening. So for those of you who missed, and I'll just remind you anyway, I'm going out tomorrow about lunchtime, about 12 noon, to film at this location I've not been to before. I've scouted it, but I haven't filmed at it yet. And it's got a fantastic wee story behind it, a bit of a supernatural story. So I'm going there tomorrow about 12ish, and after I've filmed, on the way, it will be about a 10-minute walk back to the car, I will go live again. So for anyone who's about and not doing much and wants to have a wee tune in, you can do that tomorrow about 12. This is dependent on the weather, of course, because I will be flying my drone there. I'm doing a tracking shot with the drone, so if it starts hammering down with rain, then I'll postpone it to a day that it's not raining. But if it's a nice day, 12 o'clock's when I'll be going out. I'll be finished the filming between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, and that's when I'll be going live, walking back. So if you're interested, you can pop in and I'll see you then. So thanks very much for everyone who's popped in. Thanks very much for those of you, a wee super thanks. And thanks for the 12 of you who gave me a thumbs up. So I'm going to end the stream now and head back to the studio and congratulate myself. So see you soon. Oh, and cheerio with the new.